Who's asking?
I am Sir Alester of House Sarwick. I need to speak with Sir Giles. Is he in?
Yes, Sir Giles? Yes, he's here. Do you want me to go find him?
What do you think?
Well, yes. Forgive me, my lord. I'm on my way.
I'm glad he's just conveniently right over here, next to my other objective. It's always nice.
Well, where is he? Ah, Sir Alester. I don't believe I've had the pleasure, even of knowing you by name. Please tell me, what brings you to my door?
I have come on behalf of a young lady known to you. Bethany entrusted me with a message for you.
Beth? Got to be good. Thank you for informing me, Half-Pint. I will take care of it from here. Now go stare at something in the kitchens.
In the kitchens? Yes, sir.
Are you afraid of what might be heard, Sir Giles?
You could say that. I'm to be married soon, you see. I doubt that the name of Beth would go down too well if spoken too loud. It's a sorry business. I liked the girl, truly I did. I had some of my best times with her. Unfortunately, the family of my betrothed might be rather sensitive about the matter. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, completely.
What? Oh, what did she want?
She asked me to give you this, and to tell you that she hopes to see you. She is expecting your child, Sir Giles. She needs you.
My what? A bastard? With Beth? Gods, that is, unexpected. Why did this have to happen now? I mean, I've had my fair share of scandal, but this... What am I to do? Do you think this will put my marriage at risk? I've done nothing wrong, have I? A man is entitled to have a good time when he's young, isn't he?
You have done something wrong. But I don't want you to break off your marriage, I just want you to support her with money. But neither of these options are very descriptive. I don't think it's right or wrong, more of responsibility, so let's go with this one. Just to make sure he has some responsibility about the matter.
It is one thing to have a good time and another to cause others to suffer. The poor girl loves you. The girl is but an innocent and trusted you. You took advantage of her. She is now in need because of you. Only a coward would abandon her like this.
Did I hear you say innocent? Are you sure we speak of the same Beth?
What do you mean?
Is this some sort of joke? Beth is a whore. Shataya's most beautiful girl. I was her best client. At least before I, became betrothed. I'm sure you understand.
That is not how she described things to me.
Maybe she was ashamed. Or perhaps she thought that you would turn her away if she told you. In truth, I thought all I need to do was stop going there, and each would then carry on with their own lives. I would never have imagined she would leave the brothel for me. That changes everything, doesn't it?
Well, it should be yes, he owes her nothing, and not no. I don't know if I really need to make inquiries.
She lied to my face about her position, and she would not have done so without good reason. It would be ill-advised to do anything until we are certain of her intentions. Shataya is a friend of mine. If Bethany was one of her girls, she might be able to tell me more about her.
I defer to your judgment, my lord. Given my situation here, I would prefer not to return to the establishment myself. I shall wait for you here.
That might be wise.
Damn it. I didn't want this side quest to go on, but I want to do my due diligence. I don't want to just be like, oh, screw it. Damn you, Shataya, why aren't you standing outside now? What a bitch. I have to go through a loading screen. For Shataya and for Beth. Tywin Lannister has some of the best quotes. He is one of the smartest characters in Game of Thrones. Hands down. He's also a gigantic prick, but definitely one of the smartest characters.
Sir Alester, it's a pleasure to see you again so soon. I hope that you will stay with us a bit longer this time.
It would be a great pleasure, dear lady. But again, I have only come to satisfy my curiosity. I would like you to tell me about Bethany.
Beth? That girl was a bad seed. She's no longer here, Alester. What has become of her since she left is of no concern to this house.
Why are you upset with her?
This is the first time you speak so bitterly of one of your girls, my dear lady. What did she do to so displease you?
There are rules in our house, for our visitors as well as our girls. Beth paid them no heed. She was ambitious, arrogant, dishonest. She enjoyed deceiving her lovers, letting them get behind in the payments. She'd say it was to entice them to come and see her more often. I thought perhaps she skimmed some of the money, but I'll never know. I told her to put an end to her scheming, and she left.
Interesting.
Is it possible that she ran away out of love? Beth told me about Sir Giles Langwood and told me she was trying to contact him. He seemed to care about what happened to her.
How very considerate of Sir Giles, especially considering the fact that he departed in such a cavalier manner.
I beg your pardon?
Sir Giles was Beth's favorite beau. He came to see her constantly. I thought he was particularly generous and wealthy. Apparently, he was just irresponsible. When I presented him with the bill and requested that he pay up, he paled and asked for more time. From that day on, no news of him. Poor Beth was completely forgotten. Now that that little thief is no longer under my roof, he's worried about her again. That is rather charitable of him, and I must say, quite convenient.
She claims to be carrying his child.
Is that so? Well, she will be sadly disillusioned. A man who spills his seed in a whorehouse does not like to be confronted with the fruit. Is the child really Giles's? There's so many potential fathers. How's she planning to convince a noble to take responsibility for it? Beth is too astute a girl to have been taken in like this. I'm surprised. I don't know what to say. Would you like to look at her room? Perhaps she left something that could shed some light on the matter.
That's a good idea. I will return in a moment, dear lady.
I hope she conveniently left the letter behind. Alright, let's look at the map real quick. Was this it? I'm sorry. I looked at it, but it didn't register with me. Whoa. Oh, I thought that chick was naked. I was like, what is going on? Could it be here? Though my heart is heavy at the thought, there's every chance I shall not return. Indeed, I am leaving to keep a promise. You must understand that from now on, I can no longer enjoy the pleasures of a brothel, bad as was my wont with you. So I bid you farewell. I have no doubt that you will soon become the little princess of another great man. Interesting. So he was nice to her. What else do we have? Got some silver she left behind. Interesting. So maybe she got the idea from that letter to be his princess.
So, my friend, did the room satisfy your curiosity?
I came across a farewell letter written by Sir Giles addressed to Beth. An elegant gesture coming from the indifferent miser you described.
I admit that the writing is meticulous. It must have cost him dearly to have this note passed along. Do not let this piece of prose mislead you, Alester. It wouldn't be the first time a lover sends this type of hasty farewell to one of my girls. It's less a show of affection than a lack of character.
I'll leave the matter up to your good judgment. This young Sir Langwood did indeed appear to lack resolve. You know how some men are, Shataya.
You can't imagine how well. Was there anything else?
Nothing out of the ordinary. She must have taken everything of import with her. The only way to shed some light on the matter is to ask her directly.
Before you take your leave, Alester, may I ask a favor of you?
It would be ungrateful of me to not at least listen to you, dear lady.
Beth's scheming has cost my house dearly. Sir Giles may very well deny it, but he owes us a considerable debt. If you manage to see him, could you let him know that he must pay his debts? What's more, if you could do your best to bring the ungrateful wretch back into the fold.
Are you sure you want that? From what you say, it would seem your house is better off without her.
We are the best house of pleasure in all of the 7 kingdoms, my dear. We don't just throw any old piece of meat at our patrons. Welcoming a new girl, training her, dressing her, it costs a fortune. Beth is a gifted asset, and I invested a lot in her. I beg you to bring her back to me.
I'm sure there are some people out there who would no doubt have something to say on the matter, my dear. But if I may be of any assistance to you, please be assured I will gladly do so, if only for old time's sake.
For old time's sake, then. My thanks, Alester. Oh, intriguing.
Alright, so it looks like it's time for me to go slap some hoes. It definitely seems to me like Giles is an idiot, and that he clearly liked the girl, but he is also a cheapskate. Also, it appears she is a lying whore, so she probably needs to go back to the whorehouse. Sounds like good old-fashioned Alester / Dark Remnant justice. You look suspicious, all frozen in place like that. No wonder Sir Giles was always going over to the whorehouse. It was like, I don't even know, 100 feet away?
Sir Alester, at last! Did the lovely Shataya tell you anything more?
Yes, of sorts.
Huh. Well, he doesn't need to see Beth, because I'm sending her back to the whorehouse.
Of note, you forgot to mention the coin you owe her. That sheds a new light on matters, don't you think?
That again? Gods be good, will I ever rid myself of this? True, I may not have settled my debts with Shataya straight away. I sometimes went there without seeing any of the girls. I paid no heed. I lost count. She took advantage of the situation. One day, all was fine. The next, she was demanding an absolute fortune from me. What should I have done?
Pay her, perhaps? That is what a knight would do.
I can see that you've never been in my position. I cannot afford to part with such an amount. May I remind you that I am soon to be married. My family's coffers are going to be emptied enough as it is. I will pay, of course, but only when I can. That said, for the time being, it has nothing to do with the situation with Beth. My differences with the old brothel are less of a concern than this unborn bastard.
Huh. I like Shataya. And this guy seems like... Well, if I made him pay Shataya, he wouldn't have any money to afford assassins. And he's not manly enough to do it himself.
A debt is not to be paid off when the buyer so desires, Sir Giles. It would be unseemly for you to ignore your duties any longer.
Ignore my duties? 7 hells! How dare you talk to me like that in my own home, old man? The sum is absurd. I could never pay that much. Enough. I'm grateful you brought me this news, but it is no concern of yours. So go back to your horse, Sir Alester. Your views are not welcome in this house.
Puffed up young boy, you've been spoiled by the light of summer. Winter in the darkness will be unkind to you.
That was about as successful as I thought it'd be. I really like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Brain soup again, guys. Brain soup.